can just pump out another rep or another two, and like that
100%.
difference between like
My arm, my pecs, my biceps, and my quads.
yeah.
And especially on my quads, it works because,
What's that?
well, for me, thank you, thank you. If you have a background
Feel
in
that.
in any sport that you may have done for 15 years and then you decide to be a bodybuilder, your joints are already going to be a little bit taxed. So for me, it's really hard sometimes to go stupid heavy on like a leg extension or leg press or just my squats, especially when I'm dieting down because my
Yeah,
tendons, they're losing that comfort that they had when I had all that body fat. So once I've lost that body fat, I can't stack up the weights anymore. I put that tens machine on, and after I've hit that fatigue level, I can keep going with the intensity that I started with because I've got that tens machine, and I can turn up the intensity as high as I can handle. And when I reach the point where I physically can't rep it out myself with my own brain power, my own body power, that's where the tens machine kicks in and allows me to go for the extra 2 or 3 or 4 reps on
yeah,
something that I probably wouldn't be able to hit by myself. And so
yeah,
it's like a spot without, putting someone else at risk trying to spot you or without putting extra pressure on your joints.
awesome. Yeah, I think you just got a question again. It said, where is it?
Is it the one about how
Weeks
many?
train, and how long are your training sessions? So Josh
Um,
is an Olympic weightlifter.
okay,
Yeah, so
cool.
basically we're trying to figure out the difference between, we can explain the difference between strength, weightlifting, powerlifting, and bodybuilding. Yeah.
We can,
How,
we can.
yeah.
Um, actually, it's funny because that question is coming from a weightlifter. My early days in the gym were weightlifting, so I ran track in college. Yeah, so I was a D1 college track and field athlete, and the style of training that I did was more similar to being a power lifter. So my weekly sessions normally look like this. I'd go deadlift, snatch, overhead, yeah, deadlift, snatch, overhead press, split jerk, and then Olympic lift set. So anyone who knows that, basically you deadlift, you clean and jerk it, you hang clean it, you overhead press, etc. So that's where I came from,
Yeah.
and to come from that kind of background, I always believe this to this day. Any power lifter or weightlifter would be able to make a smooth transition into bodybuilding because of that type of foundation of being able to make it through the pain threshold and being
Yeah.
able to push through that cardiovascular threshold also because when you're lifting heavy weights, your cardiovascular system kicks in, man, and you're just like you just plummet to the ground. And bodybuilding is it's a bit, I guess, of the opposite. Is in my sessions, I purposely try not to burn too many calories. Whereas when I go into a powerlifting session, I want to burn all the calories so I can eat all the calories, right? I want to get as
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
calories burned off
Yeah.
my body so I can eat them. But in bodybuilding, especially if you trying to build a lot of size,
Yeah.
if you're consistently burning so many more calories than you can take in, then you're consistently sitting at maintenance. And so, like, the benefit of like being a power lifter is like the sessions and the intensity of the sessions aren't as high throughout the entire session, but you are hitting big enough weight for your CNS to get fried enough to where you're burning enough calories to take them back in and
Yeah.
then reap those benefits the next day and the day after in terms of your energy. Oh, sorry, some crazy dogs behind me. um, but
So,
and benefits. Go ahead.
so outside of like competition, you just basically trying to, are you like bulking? Like what's that like? You're just trying to Are you trying to isolate each muscle? Like, how's the training per a week go? Like Monday, what do you do? Like, you know what I mean? Throughout the
Right,
week.
right. So for me now, now that I am a bodybuilder and I'm in the bodybuilding space and I'm doing mainly hypertrophy, um, I normally train in the gym. I'm normally training like 45 minutes to an hour,
Okay.
max an hour. And I think my best sessions are the ones that are like 45 minutes. And the reason why I say that is because I give myself a solid 15 minutes before I'm actually jumping into my training session and I'm warming up. So a regular week for me, and if I put it to you like I train 4 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. Monday is always normally like an upper body day for me. So I like to pair stuff like chest and shoulders. That way I know both of them are getting equally hit because they
Yeah.
both involve presses. And then on Tuesday might look more like a recovery day, depending upon what Saturday and Sunday look like if I'm training Saturday and Sunday. But my before all of this happened in the COVID-19, my normal split basically was Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday was a recovery day, so my recovery day looks like a walk, stretching, massage, and chiro, all in the same day. And then Thursdays are my heavy days where I do lower body heavy days, so it's all hamstring load stuff. So deadlifts, RDLs, anything that it's got to do with my hamstring. So goblet squats, Nordic curls, anything that's gonna target the hamstrings in a strength format. I'm hitting that on Thursdays, and then coming back on the Friday, I'm tapering myself back up to the top of my body, starting with my back. So I stay in on the rear side. So I want to say I stay in the posterior chain, and I think that works best for body any athlete, but for especially bodybuilders. If
Yeah.
you on if one day, no matter what day it is, if one day you're training hamstrings and glutes, and then the next day you're training like chest and back, like that doesn't make sense. I think the thing that's already activated, it's already been fed. There's fresh blood in the hamstrings, there's fresh blood in the glutes. You
Yeah.
might as well go ahead and scale it up to the back because the back just got done working in those deadlifts. So my next day, I want to target my back and use that nutrient-rich blood that I've gotten in there from hitting the deadlifts.
So you target, like, you pretty much target specific groups on every day. Like,
Yes, yes.
so like the difference with that in like power, like obviously in powerlifting is targeting specific lifts. But then, in powerlifting we do accessories as well, which not many powerlifters they say they have accessories and they like, oh, I'm just gonna
They
put
don't
them
want to
there.
do them.
Yeah, but like it's so important in like keeping your muscle and joints like health as well, which they don't realize when accessories actually contribute to the main lift.
Right.
Um, yeah, so that's very interesting. You've got
It's like the opposite too for bodybuilders because it's like how you guys need those accessory lifts for
yeah,
that purpose. We
yeah,
need those compound functional lifts for the same purpose in terms of keeping ourselves balanced and functional and being able to have that range of motion. Because if I
yeah.
just did basically what we're doing is bodybuilding is accessory lifts all day long, and
That's
that's just
impossible.
basically say it again.
Well, the opposite, but we both need the same kind of thing that, but we don't place importance in it. Like what
Yeah.
you place importance in, like, maybe not, and like, yeah, it's interesting that way.
Which is why I believe it's very important for athletes like you and I to have relationships because it keeps one from being jaded from
Yeah,
another perspective, you know?
it's like, well, it's great now. Like I see more and more different sport just coming together now, like rather than just being in their own separate. In like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's how it used to be.
this is better than this. It's just like whatever. You guys, we all do the same. We all have a goal in mind to improve ourselves. So like, like it doesn't matter what we do.
Right.
You questions of from what is your best snatch and clean and jerk when you used to do them?
Okay. I gotta do some maths. I can put it in pounds. So I'm 29 now. I was 20 when I was doing this, 21, so it was 9 years ago. So we got the blues and the yellows. That was
Blues
my
and yellow.
best. Blue and
60,
yellow.
blue and yellow 60. No, 70, 80, 90, 90.
Yeah. Yep.
What's
So
that?
blue and yellow was my snatch.
Yeah, 90.
Blue, yellow, and green would be have been my deads. And then I could clean that blue, yellow, and green. And then also I could clean blue, yellow, and green. And we had a black plate, which is now the gray plate here, which is the 5. The green is a 10,
Yeah.
10 kilos, right? So blue, yellow, green, and then that gray 5 would be my deads and hang cleans back
Oh,
in 2010.
I can't math.
Oh,
120.
so what is that? That's like 110, 120, something like that.
Yeah, okay, 120. Yeah.
So
You
it's
got
okay.
do you also look after your own nutrition, or do you have someone after this for you, especially coming into comp? Someone look after this for you, especially coming into comp.
Coming into my competition, yeah, I do not like looking after it on my own, like just by myself. Throughout my off season, I look at it for myself. Like obviously, I know what to eat in terms
Yeah,
of what sources I want to get my carbs and my protein and my fats from. But in terms of when I go into my competition, I don't want to be so biased in terms of what my diet looks like. And like
yeah.
I'm not really concerned if I'm losing certain foods that I like to eat, because at the moment it's about the competition. It's not about what I like in terms of
Yeah.
like what's in my bowl. And like I think a lot of people say when you're dieting, it should be fun, or it should be what you enjoy having to make it easier. But nothing in life that's worth having comes easy. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm competing and it's a challenge, I don't want this shit to be easy. You feel me? So I need someone else to
Well,
go and say, all right,
that thing though, that's a mindset thing. Not everyone wants everyone wants to say that dieting the easy, but like once you hit like top level, it's like I like the challenge. I like it not
yes,
being easy. Yeah,
yeah,
but
I like that.
yeah, you have to tap into a different mindset there.
A
Yeah,
100%. So that's why I love having, my coaches and people on the side looking at me and go, okay, yeah, cool, bro. This is nice that you're eating this and this has been working for you, but we're gonna, tweak it a little bit. And then that's what makes it that much more difficult to make it through to that next level. It's just like being, a power lifter and having your favorite go-to lifts. And then your
yeah.
coach says, all right, but today we ain't doing those. We're switching it up. Today we're gonna do the lifts that you really don't like. And it's like, oh, damn, now you got to switch into that different mindset.
Yeah, yeah. What do you track your food? Like do you my fitness pal and stuff? Do you
Yeah,
just eat?
yeah. I
No.
do. So in the off season, I don't track like 110%.
Yeah,
I have trackless days where I just intuitively eat, and I'll just know what to stay away from, what to gravitate more to. So on a trackless day, I'm trying to make sure that I have more protein based meals than anything, because I
yeah,
know that's the number one thing that's easiest to lose sight of, is that protein, because carbs, they are so easy to consume and you don't even know it. You're just drinking and eating and you're like, oh yeah, I'm full. And then if I tracked it, you go, oh shit, but I only had 50 grams of protein, but I've had 300 grams of carbs.
that happens to me.
It's so easy to do, right? So on a
Yeah,
trackless day, I just make sure that I'm starting my day with a protein shake. I'm having some egg whites. I'm gonna have some fish. I'm gonna have some chicken. I just make sure that I have those things on the side. But when I have those days where I'm tracking, or when I'm deep into my season and I know that I'm going to compete within the next 3 months. So let's say I got a show coming up in 3 to 4 months. I will be tracking everything to the T so I can have that data. And it's more about the data for me when I'm that far out. So when I'm in the thick of it, I can kind of compare and go, okay, cool. This is how far I went in terms of calories or carbs. Okay, great. We had 5 straight weeks of 600 gram of carb days. Cool. so we can work with that. I've built the metabolism to have that. Now that I know that, I can submit that data to my coaches, to myself, and go from there in order to map out the best plan in terms of coming in the tightest.
How important do you think? So heading up to comp, you time your food and like your carbs to look stage ready, yeah. So there's a certain amount of like carbs that you cut, and then heading up to comp like a few days before, you increase that carbs to kind of pop, don't you? Like how can you
I
like
missed that last little bit. Yeah.
like as you head up to comps, you're timing your carb intake and your fat, and then while to look stage ready to like get those muscles popping, you increase your carbs at a certain period of time to get stage ready. How important is the timing of that? And run me through what you do, like as you head like let's say 7 days out. What's your protein, carbs, fat like, and then how do you manipulate it to like look really good on stage?
So to answer the first question is very, very important. The timing that is, and when I'm 7 days out, basically I'm trying to make sure that every piece of glycogen that I've been storing over the last, let's say, 16 weeks of my prep, that I'm able to push out. I'm able to get rid of that glycogen. So basically, Monday, let's say it's a Saturday that I'm 7 days out. That Saturday, I'm making sure that I'm doing fasted cardio. Then I'm making sure that I'm also doing, sorry,
Why,
some,
by the way?
well, I want to do the fat. Some people say it doesn't matter. Some people say it does matter. I'm one of the ones where I'm in between. I do the fasted cardio because I don't want a whole lot of food in my stomach moving around when I'm doing the
Yeah.
type of cardio that I'm doing, because I like to do a lot of metcon, a lot of hit. As you know, my background being track and field, I just like moving like that. So if I can move like that, I'm going to use it to my advantage. And I know those type of workouts help burn up the glycogen a little bit faster as well. And going into it fasted, and when I say fasted, I'm not meaning like I woke up and I didn't eat. I'm saying fasted as in I went to bed and I didn't eat after 6 o'clock, and I woke up at 6 a.m. and I trained. So now I'm at a 12-hour fasted window, and I'm really, 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 really getting that glycogen store. I'm burning it up, and I got that principle from when I went. I went keto for a whole year, and so when I went keto, I really, really learned the basis of how to properly fast. And the only way you can properly fast is actually cutting the food earlier the previous day, and then busting into the fast that next day going into your workout. And so after that workout, I'll pretty much have a small amount of carbs to replenish the small amount of glycogen that I just lost, so my muscles can eat and rejuvenate themselves, so I can have electrolytes so I'm not cramping up. I'll do that every day for the past 7 days, but I'll also increase the amount of reps that I'm doing in the gym, so I'm making sure that those muscles are expending any bits of glycogen that may have been there. So that way, by day 6, when I put in multiple amounts of carbs, so I've gone from 30% of carbs to 80%. So now my muscles are ready. They've been deprived of carbs over the last 6 to 7 days or more. So as soon as I open the floodgates open like a dam, if a dam has been broken, that's basically what's happening in layman terms. As soon as I have a sniff of carbohydrates, the vascularity goes insane. The glycogen stores are up, and you can see them within about 10 to 15 minutes, because those muscles have been stripped of all glycogen over the last week or last 2 weeks of training. And to kind of put a number on that so you can kind of gauge it, I'd say if a guy had been having anywhere between 250 to 400 grams of carbs throughout his prep, and in that last 2 weeks, that 250 went down to 150, or that 400 went down to 200, that's a drastic amount, a drastic change. What's 2 times 4? That's 400 calories in a day. So you multiply that in 3 days, it's 2,100 calories in 3 days just worth of carbohydrates. So once all that goes down and you increase the amount of protein you're having, that's when everything starts to really look sharp, because that protein synthesis has now upregulated everything in your body. Is like, oh shit, let's spare the muscle, spare the muscle. So it's doing its best to spare the muscle with just the protein and the protein only. And so once you push that protein back down and increase those carbs, that's when all that water that you had, that you said, oh, I got to lose this water weight. That's when you lose all that water weight, because now that water chases the glycogen. So I think
Yeah.
it's like for every 1 gram of carb, I think there's like 3 mils of water that's
Wow.
tracked. Yeah,
Not
that is kept. It's just,
super scientific, eh?
yeah, so it's right. So it's super scientific. So when you have that formula, you know, okay, cool. I'm gonna give this guy 300 grams of carbs this
Yeah.
morning. All right. So I know for every gram of that 300, he's gonna gain or he's gonna lose. Right. He's gonna lose water weight, because that water that he might be carrying is gonna go straight into the muscle. So let me bring that point up too. Is that we strip away water too, because there's a water load when the carbs are gone. So when the carbs are gone, we do a water load. That way we keep the muscles satisfied, right? We keep them full. And then when we bring the carbs in, we drop all of the water in terms of drinking the water, because all the water we just loaded up, we want the carbs to suck in, and then we want them to basically excrete. So basically what's going to happen after that, after you suck all those carbs in, you haven't been having carbs, your muscles
Yeah.
go, oh shit, what to do? What do I do with these? Right? So what we do is we come away from the gym, we come away from the reps. You know, we've done all of what we can do in the gym now. We just want to rest, let the muscles fill up, and they get to the point to where they're so full, they now have to start excreting water. So you could be, and then Bahamas was the perfect place for that, because as soon as I had a carb meal, I started to sweat. I started to have to go to the toilet. So I'm in the toilet, I'm passing all the water. I'm sweating profusely. And by day 7, there's no more water. And I'm just
Yeah.
all carved up, and I'm very full. So now my muscles are nice and full. My skin is really, really tight. And the best thing about it is your mood increases also. So you're in a very, very good mood. You're happy. You're feeling really good. So the energy's gone up, the mood has gone up, and the water has gone away.
Yeah, because you pretty much have to bring that all to stage, like that presence, that mood, that like energy, that positivity, and like
100%.
you know, coaching you guys on the stage.